Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Manish Shrestha, working as Assistant Professor at Haryana School of Business, GJ University of Science and Technology, Hisar. Today, we are going to discuss about the topic Fundamentals of Performance Management. Before starting the discussion, let's have a look at the contents. To start with, we will have an introduction, followed by aims of performance management, then essentials of performance management, then why there is a need to opt for performance management, benefits of performance management cycle, and at the end we will have summary. The learning objectives of today's discussion is it enables the students to understand the concept and relevance of performance management in a business organization. It also enables them to get familiar with dimensions of performance management in an organization. Human resources are the most critical asset that plays a pivotal role in the success of any organization. The sustainability of an organization totally depends upon how its manpower is performing. Performance of an individual is a combination of his ability to do a task, possessing required skills to perform the task, and availability of supportive resources to perform the task. Once the right combination of these three elements of performance is created, the resultant is improved performance. Employees with higher level of performance could help an organization in developing a competitive advantage. This competitive advantage further helps the organization in combating the competition and other uncertainties of business environment. Considering the relevance of performance in the success of an organization, it becomes pertinent to think in a systematic manner to manage the performance. Over a period of time, the concept of performance management is evolved and accepted as an integral part of the field of human resource management. It is considered as a dynamic process that establishes performance criteria in line with the mission and objectives of the organization and builds a mechanism to continuously review the internal procedures to integrate them with organizational philosophy. In order to have a better understanding of performance management concept, let's go through the various definitions given by academicians and experts. Performance management is a process for establishing shared understanding about what is to be achieved and an approach to managing and developing people in a way which increases the probability that it will be achieved in the short and longer term. Performance management is a process which contributes to the effective management of individuals and teams in order to achieve high level performance. Performance management is an ongoing process of communication between a supervisor and an employee that occurs throughout the year in support of accomplishing the strategic objectives of the organization. Another definition of performance management is, it is the process through which managers ensures that employees' activities and outputs contribute to organizational goals. From these definitions and explanations, we can identify few important activities of performance management. Performance management includes conversion of vision into mission, mission into objectives, objectives to targets, and targets to measurable outputs. Also, it creates a system to assess and review the performance and relate it to rewards. On the broader note, it improves the organizational effectiveness and provides a competitive advantage. Since the advent of Industrial Revolution about 3 centuries ago, the system of appraising the employee performance came into existence. More stress was given on how accurately the output of an employee could be measured. The concept of appraisal only took care of something after it happens. The efforts were made to improve individual performance without considering human aspect of the employee. At that time, only scientific theories treated individuals as component in the whole system and ignoring the impact of feelings and socializing on the performance. Soon, impact of other fellow workers on the individual performance realized and felt that the motivated individual performs better. Now, the performance of an employee is evaluated on the basis of trait-based merit rating. Within a few years, trait-based evaluation of performance is criticized for ignoring behavior of individual over traits. Trait measures were treated as subjective and suspicious. Gradually, an idea of combining external factors and internal factors to improve performance gained impetus, and the concept of management by objective evolved. Now, the individuals are empowered to set their own objectives at the start of appraisal period. Then their performances are reviewed against these objectives. This option faced criticism over ignoring the importance of training and communication in improving the performance of an individual. It was also backed that it is extremely difficult to appraise the performance of an individual objectively. Eventually, the concept of performance management got recognition. The performance management concept focuses on creating a shared vision of the purpose and aims of the organization, helps employees understand the relevance of their job and their role in overall success of the organization. Appraisal is treated as only but extremely important component of the performance. Over a period of time, performance management concept has evolved to accommodate flexibility, sense of ownership, service and feedback. Introducing performance management facilitates better communication within the organization and aligns the efforts of individuals with organizational goals. Now have a look at some of the aims of performance management. Performance management put emphasis on all important aspects of performance. It stresses on achievement of results and their impact on performance. It also focuses on development of proper procedures and capabilities to enhance performance. Performance management emphasizes on planning in advance to secure future. Measurement of performance and its implication is another area of concern. Performance management also provides room for mutual respect, procedural fairness and transparency. Following are the few aims of performance management. The first one is to ensure that all the individuals working in the organization know about what is expected from them and involve individuals in setting the expected performance. To equip individuals and teams to achieve the set expectation. To provide support and consultation to individuals and teams to improve their performance. To facilitate development of performance-oriented culture in the organization. To create such an environment where individuals can freely express their views about the job and related expectations. To create a system that enables free flow of communication between supervisor and subordinate. Another aim is to align individual performance expectations with organizational goals. Then, to elevate the motivation level of employees so that they perform up to their ability and also try beyond it. To establish an atmosphere where professional development is encouraged. to assess status through regular monitoring of actual performance in the light of expected performance. Also, to provide feedback about individual, group and organizational performance so that a timely strategy could be implemented to realign deviations. Another is to set the minimum expected standard, as compliance of these standards are essential for the survival of the organization. And finally, to develop mechanisms for sharing performance data. Broadly, the aim of performance management is to develop sense of sharing, smooth flow of communication, involvement in setting performance standards and maintenance of motivation level. Now, let us have a look on certain essentials of performance management. In order to make performance management a success in an organization, certain criteria need to be fulfilled. These criteria are: the very philosophy of setting up the organization must be strong. People involved in the implementation of performance management system must possess the capabilities and right kind of attitude. The two key sections of the organization, that is managers and employees, must accept the idea, commit themselves and take ownership for successful introduction of performance management. On the same ground, top management should also commit to make performance management happen in the organization. Another essential is that all the people involved in increasing performance through performance management must be properly compensated and rewarded. The employees must be supplied with proper resources to perform their jobs up to their potential. The managers must get flexibility so that they can take need-based decisions. Also, managers and employees should be aware about the tools and techniques related to expectation setting and performance monitoring. Another is proper communication mechanism should be there to ensure smooth flow of information between managers and employees. And finally, an environment of freedom of expression should be present in the organization. Apart from understanding major criteria for a successful performance management system in the organization, it is also pertinent to look into the major principles of performance management. These are: narrow down organizational objectives to the level of individual, provide clarity about organizational goals to all the levels in the organization, maintain performance of individual, team and organization on a continuous basis. Another principle is to build commitment towards increasing the level of performance, empowering employees to beat their own performance standards, develop a culture of openness and accountability to foster continuous improvement in the performances, develop a feedback mechanism to reinforce the positive behaviors of the employees. Another is conduct performance evaluation against jointly set criteria. And the last one is use performance management as a development tool. Why we should go for performance management? Let's have a look. Although some experts differed on the view about the utility to go for performance management in an organization, stating two major reasons. First, implementing performance management requires certain psychological and social skills, and many managers lack them. Second, appraisal could still be used as a controlling tool to hamper one's growth. In spite of few points of disagreement, performance management still holds a great relevance. Generally, the employees get too much involved in their routine work that they often lose the track about the relevance of their contribution towards the success of the organization. Through performance management, we can make them aware about the purpose of their work. Performance management empowers employees to clarify their specific roles. It helps in setting clear performance standards and the ways to measure performance. Presence of clarity and removal of any ambiguity is the performance management way of increasing productivity of employees. Performance management enables regular feedback about the performances. It helps the employees to assess their strengths and areas of improvement. It also informs the employees whether they are heading towards right direction or not. A good feedback system also opens up a dialogue between managers and employees wherein they can discuss various key success areas and bottlenecks to the performance. Performance management also provides a good opportunity to fill the skill and knowledge related gaps. It helps the employees to develop their career path. It also provides an opportunity to the employees to get rewarded for a job well done. This reward system provides an incentive to employees to make extra effort to further improve their performance, and hence the cycle goes on. Through performance management, an organization can attract and retain talent. Presence of a structural system to assess performance improves the image of the organization and looks appealing to talent. It also helps the employees to maintain a work-life balance along with working to their full potential. Performance management enables building up of intellectual pool at the organization. It also facilitates identification of gaps between expected and actual performance. In order to fill these gaps, abilities and competencies of individual also tend to increase. Now look at some of the benefits of performance management. The presence of performance management offers benefits to every part of an organization. A broad list of benefits of performance management is presented herewith. Benefits to the organization. There are certain benefits like alignment of corporate, team and individual objectives, improved performance at all the three levels, creation of highly committed and motivated team of employees, improved effectiveness of training, development of learning organization, creation of talent pool, generation of conducive atmosphere for continuous improvement and development, increased chances to attract and retain competent employees. The benefits to managers includes to provide the basis for clarifying performance and behavior expectations, availability of structure to review performances, improvement in team as well as individual performances, identification of underperformers, provides opportunity to coach or mentor individuals, proper utilization of time with teams through discussion of relevant issues only, and provide basis for offering non-financial benefits for better performing team and individuals. Benefits to individuals include better role clarity and awareness about expectations. Efforts are reciprocated through rewards. Opportunity to discuss relevant issues with managers. Involvement in objective setting, providing a sense of belongingness. Opportunity to derive a career path through continuous improvement in skill and knowledge. Performance management cycle. In order to provide structure to the thoughts related to performance management, a manager could consider the performance management cycle, also known as PMC. A PMC provides a logical way to align efforts of a manager in helping others to attain their potential. A performance management cycle could be understood in 4 stages. These stages are: the first stage is planning. This stage is generally the starting point of the cycle. As the basic premises of performance management indicates, the manager and the employees come together and set the tone of performance for the upcoming year. Both the parties jointly come to a consensus regarding performance related matters for the next year. The focus of planning is in relation to identification of major areas where employees has to deliver performance oriented results. Specific goals that needs to be attained by the employee in the decided areas, decision about the benchmark or performance standard against which results are to be compared, identification of performance factors that facilitates the smooth attainment of results, decision about the frequency of joint meetings to provide a feedback, and finally, completion of development plan. This stage broadly tells about what exactly an employee has to do in his job and how that job can be done. For the sake of future reference, all the points of a planning are put in black and white, that is documented. Stage 2, which is execution. In this stage, both the parties, that is managers and employees, are having certain tasks to perform. The period of execution is considered as appraisal period. An employee is responsible to carry out all the activities as per planning in stage 1. On the other hand, a manager is responsible to carry out a regular monitoring of activities of employees and to provide ongoing feedback and suggestion for improvement. With the changing situations, certain adjustments need to be made. Any changes in the plan further needs consensus of both the parties. In this stage, manager is responsible to provide congenial environment where performance could be delivered. Continuous motivation, regular monitoring and constant reinforcement of correct behavior are the major responsibilities of managers in this stage. Employees are expected to express freely issues related to performance and seek help from managers whenever and wherever they find themselves stuck up. Stage 3 is assessment. Under this stage, the actual performance of an employee during the appraisal period is assessed. Both manager and employee independently work on their assessment task. An employee goes for the self-assessment on how he or she is able to achieve the pre-planned goals. On the other hand, manager also prepares a list on how well the employee is able to achieve established performance factors. After receiving the self-assessment document by the employee, the manager compares it with his observations and prepares a detailed assessment report. While preparing the report, manager writes down his views on the performance and justifies his comments with logical reasoning. Sometimes this report is discussed with further up level in the organizational hierarchy prior to review discussion with the employee. The final stage is known as stage 4, review. This stage highlights the meeting of manager and the employee to review the performance of the appraisal period. They meet to discuss what has been achieved and where are the gaps that need correction. Here, the comments of manager are discussed with the employee and chance is given to the employee to freely express his views. The employee is allowed to record and document his comments about the assessment. Finally, both sign the document indicating that assessment has been reviewed. Once these 4 stages are crossed, the final outcome of the whole process acts as an input for the stage 1. Both the parties again sit together to plan modified thrust areas of performance, key performance factors and goals to achieve. In this way, the performance management cycle goes on and on. To summarize the discussion so far, performance management is a process for establishing shared understanding about what is to be achieved and an approach to managing and developing people in a way which increases the probability that it will be achieved in the short and longer term. Performance management concept focuses on creating a shared vision of the purpose and aims of the organization, helps employees understanding the relevance of their job and their role in overall success of the organization. Appraisal is treated as only on but extremely important component of the performance management. Performance management stresses on achievement of results and their impact on performance. It also focuses on development of proper procedures and capabilities to enhance performance. Performance management emphasizes on planning in advance to secure future. Through performance management, we can make them aware about the purpose of their work. The performance management empowers employees to clarify their specific roles. It also helps in setting a clear performance standard and the ways to measure the performance. It facilitates identification of gaps between expected and actual performance. A performance management cycle provides a structure or framework to managers to align their efforts in order to help employees improving their performance. It has 4 stages, namely planning, execution, assessment and review. Thank you. Happy learning.